Okay, so I'd like to formally welcome Mr. Mark Strahl to Strathcona Elementary School to help you participate in your student vote election. So, Mr. Strahl, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And yeah, please tell us about your Conservative Party.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Thanks, Strathcona students, for the invitation and for the opportunity to talk to you a bit about myself and about the Conservative Party of Canada's platform in this election. You're very lucky to have a teacher like Mr. Lister who cares about politics and is helping you to learn more about it so that you can care about it too. I was one of those kids that loved current events from probably grade 5. I think it was the year when we started to learn about government, how Canadians govern themselves, and the division of powers between the different levels of government. And I was always interested in watching the news even as a youngster. So I come by my decision to enter politics. Honestly, it's something I've been interested in since I was your age, for sure. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Chilliwack. This is my home. This is where my wife Lisa and I and our 11-year-old son live. It's a great community. We love every part of it. It's a great place to live and work and raise a family, and that's why we've chosen to be here. And that's why I'm running for re-election. I was first elected in 2011 in the last federal election. I'm running for re-election because I want to keep serving the people of Chilliwack-Hope. Because I believe that I understand this community, and I think that the Conservative plan for Canada and for Chilliwack-Hope is the best plan. So I'll talk to you a bit about that, and then I hope that we'll have some time for some questions at the end. So if you want to start thinking about that as I go through my little talk here. The first thing that the Conservative Party, the thing that we're most concerned about, or our most important policy platform, is to protect Canada's economy. We want to make sure that your parents have good jobs, that we keep those jobs, and that we can create even more jobs so that people have the money that they need to support their families, to support their communities. And with a strong economy, it means that we can support things like a strong healthcare system, strong environmental regulations. All of these things that Canadians expect are all more possible, are all easier to do when you have a strong economy. So that means, in our plan, that means keeping taxes low so that your parents and individuals have more money to spend on the things that they want to spend on, so that you're not sending more money to the government for them to decide how to spend it, that you get to make more of those decisions yourself. And another thing that we've done as part of our plan to have a strong economy is to give money directly to your parents so that they can help with the cost of raising children. And then, and we believe, again, that those choices should be made by parents. We think that parents are the experts when it comes to raising their family, not politicians. So that's a difference between our party and what some of the other parties have proposed. So one of the other things that we've done, we believe in strong trade agreements. We believe in promoting trade around the world so that Canadian companies can sell their goods to other countries and other countries can sell their goods to us. And we believe that makes everybody better off. And again, leaves more money for people to spend on things that they see fit to spend on. So it's a big part of Conservative philosophy is leave more money for you and your parents so that you can spend it on the things you want to. Another key platform plank, as they call them, something that we're talking about in this election, is keeping our communities safe. That's a very important part of what Conservatives believe in, and we think that we need to have strong laws that send a message to people who want to commit crimes, that if you commit crimes, there's going to be serious consequences for those. So for serious crimes, if you hurt somebody or things like that, we think that you should spend time in jail, that there should be mandatory jail time for serious crimes. Not every crime deserves that sort of punishment, but for serious crimes, we think that there should be that deterrent, it's called, so that if you do something wrong, you're going to face a significant consequence for that. So that's something that we believe in, because we want to make sure that our communities are safe, that our streets are safe, and that Canadians are safe. And part of that is making sure that we keep a focus on the victims of crime, people that have things done to them. That's where our focus is, on the justice system. Another thing that we believe, we want to keep harmful drugs away from kids and keep them off our streets as much as possible. So we think that drugs like marijuana should stay illegal, and that we should do everything that we can to keep that away from kids, because the research has shown how dangerous it can be for mental health issues. It's just as the Prime Minister Stephen Harper has said, drugs aren't dangerous because they're illegal. They're illegal because they're dangerous, and we believe in that. And we think we should keep drugs off our streets and not make more of those types of drugs easier to get and legal. So that's part of our justice platform. And the final thing I'll talk about today, before we have some questions, is dealing with the issue of terrorism. I think probably, I'm not sure how many of you watch the news or have seen some of the images from around the world, and there's terrorist groups right now that are preying on innocent people in Iraq and Syria. They're doing unspeakable things to them, and because they don't believe in the same things that they do. And we think that we need to protect the innocent. It's called the responsibility to protect, is kind of what the philosophy is known as. And that means that around the world where there are injustices being done, conservatives believe that we should stand with our allies, the United States and others, in fighting back against those kind of actions. And where terrorists also want to attack Canadians, we think we need to do everything that we can to keep Canada safe and keep Canadians safe. That's the primary responsibility of a government, in my view, is to keep its citizens safe from harm. So we've taken some steps to strengthen our laws to make it harder for terrorists to operate, and that's an important part of our platform too. So if I could sum it up, it would be we want to protect our economy, we want to protect our communities, and we want to keep Canadians safe. Those are protect Canada. So those are kind of the three main planks in our platform. And but I'm sure there's lots of questions. And Mr. Lister, I'm not sure how you want to handle this part of it, but yeah, if you have some questions, I'm all ears, and we'll look forward to answering those.
We do. We're going to ask you 6 questions, if that's okay. And
all
then we're going to end with just a general summary question, if that's okay.
Okay.
When we ask the question, would you be able to repeat it for the purposes of the people watching? Awesome. So if you have a question, could you raise your hand for me, please? Kiera B, do you want to start? Don't forget to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kiera, and how can you stop people from dumping garbage?
Kiera asked, how can we stop people from dumping garbage? All right, well, one of the one of the things that we learn about as you go through your government unit this year is division of responsibilities for different levels of government. So on the federal side, that's not really a federal responsibility to take care of people illegally dumping garbage. That would be more the city of Chilliwack. So what we can do is work with the city of Chilliwack. We give them finance, we give them money to help them operate. So it's really their responsibility, their bylaws officers, and their if there's a problem area where that's happening all the time, sometimes they'll have patrols and things like that. But I think that's a great question for Mayor Sharon Gates. Hopefully sometime you could have the mayor come in and ask. You could ask her that question. But in terms of making less garbage and things like that, obviously we can all play a part in encouraging sustainability and recycling and all those sorts of things. But in terms of illegal dumping of garbage, that would be a question you need to ask the city of Chilliwack. Thanks for your question.
So what Mr. Johnson?
My name is Marissa Chilliwack, and my question is, why do you want to be elected?
That's a great question. Melissa asked, why would I want to be elected? Well, I want to be elected because I want to serve the people of Chilliwack and Hope. It's something that I think is honorable to serve the public. Both my grandpas served in the Canadian military, and my dad also served as an elected official before. And so I grew up kind of appreciating public service, and I think that people get involved in the democratic process, and that's a good thing. And we need people to step forward who want to serve others, and that's something that I like to do, and that's something that I try to do well. So I think I can represent the people of Chilliwack and Hope well in Ottawa, and I want to keep doing that. So that's the main reason, is to serve people and to try to help make their lives better.
If your party won the election, how much money would you invest in healthcare and/or medicine?
Excellent question. The question was, if our party wins the election, how much would we invest in healthcare and medicine development? And that's something that I'm very proud of. As a Conservative government, we've increased funding for healthcare each and every year that we've been in office. And so what we've said, we've increased it by about $20 billion since 2006 when we took office. It's a huge number, because the costs of healthcare continue to grow as we get better and better at treating people. Our technology gets better and better. It also becomes more and more expensive. So what we've said is that we will continue to give money to the provinces. They are the level of government. So the province of BC is a level of government that takes care of delivering healthcare services. So they would fund things like family doctors, like the Chilliwack Hospital, but we give them money so that they can provide that service. We give them money. Taxpayers give them money. The federal government transfers money so that they can provide those services to you when you need it. So by the end of the decade, this decade, it'll be about $40 billion per year that the government of Canada gives to the provinces for healthcare. So it's a very important thing. It's something that Canadians expect. It's very uniquely Canadian that we have a publicly accessible, universal healthcare system where you don't have to pay out of your pocket when you show up at a doctor's office or at the hospital. So it's a great part of being born in Canada. It's a great privilege and a great, a very unique thing, and we want to protect that. So we'll continue to keep giving more money to the provinces if we're re-elected.
Thank you. Guess you introduce yourself.
I'm Joey, and my question is, what is your thought on overfishing, and what will you do about overfishing?
Thank you. Joey's question was about overfishing and what can be done about it. I think anytime there is overfishing, it's dangerous. It's a very short-sighted thing to take more of a resource than that resource can handle to replenish itself. So if you're overfishing, you might have more fish that year or that day, but the long-term damage to fish, especially here, we talk about salmon all the time. Salmon is such an important resource in the Fraser Valley and in British Columbia. And you guys have all studied the salmon cycle, and you know it's a 4-year cycle. So if you take too many fish in 1 year, in 4 years you'll have less fish than you had. You can't sustain that. And so part of the job of the Government of Canada through the Department of Fisheries and Oceans is to make sure that people aren't fishing when they aren't supposed to. So if their stocks are low and we need more salmon, I'll use that example, to get to their spawning grounds, they close the river, and then they monitor and make sure that people aren't fishing when they're not supposed to be. And we make sure that we monitor catches. We have all kinds of people dedicated to ensuring that our fisheries resources there for future generations. Another thing that we can do to promote salmon health and salmon stocks is to invest in local habitat, and that's something that I've been proud to be a part of in the last 4 years. Is we've done some really great projects near the Vedder River, the Brown Creek wetlands. I'm not sure if any of you walked the Rotary Trail on near the Yarrow side, but that we've done some excellent work with the Fraser Valley Watersheds Coalition, protecting our habitat and bringing back some habitat that had been lost so that more salmon are raised in those areas, and we have a stronger, healthier salmon stocks for the future. But on overfishing, we need to be vigilant to make sure that those who are committing that act, it's a crime to overfish, really, and we need to make sure that we have enough enforcement and resources, conservation officers, to protect that resource.
Thank you. You get to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ethan DeMarco. I'm wondering how you will stop drugs away from kids.
Right. Ethan asks how we can keep drugs away from kids. I think what we need to do, first of all, is send a strong message from our level of government that doing drugs is dangerous, that it's not a normal everyday activity, it's not something that should be encouraged. So I think we have to send that message from the start. The second thing we have to do is go after people who sell drugs, people who are trying to get other people hooked on drugs. We need to go after, they're called traffickers, drug traffickers. So we need to go after the people who are producing the illegal drugs and the people that are trying to sell them to kids and others. Those are the people that we really need to target. Oftentimes, people who have got caught up in drugs, the drug users, we want to help them. We want to get them treatment. We want to make sure that those people who want to get off of drugs have the resources they need to get healthy again. So we don't want to target them. We want to target the people who are selling and who are producing or growing these drugs. So that's all part of it, is to keep it illegal and target the people who are trying to profit off of selling drugs to other people.
Okay, one last question.
Hi, my name's Emma, and I was wondering what you will do to increase security in public places.
Thank you. The question was, what can we do to increase security in public places? Well, the first thing I think we can do is support our law enforcement officials, and that means providing money from the federal government for training more RCMP officers in Chilliwack, and that's something that we've been able to do here. Is we've got a lot of new money to help train RCMP officers over at where the University of the Fraser Valley is, at Canada Education Park. There's great new facilities that we've invested in to help train our RCMP. And I think too, we have to, like I said in my earlier opening, we have to send a strong message to people that if you commit crimes and you repeatedly commit crimes, that there's going to be consequences for that. So part of what we have talked about, and part of the things that we brought forward as a government, is mandatory jail sentences for certain crimes, and making sure that people who again and again and again commit crimes, this is often what happens, is it's the same individuals who are committing the crimes again and again and again, and they simply get what we call a slap on the wrist. It's not really a significant punishment, so they don't see a risk in doing it again. So we have to target those people that are repeatedly committing crimes, and for some of them too, we need to deal with the underlying problems that are causing them to commit those crimes. So some of them have mental health issues that we need to do more to help people who are in that cycle of dealing with mental health. We have to get them treatment so that they no longer are making those bad choices. But so that's kind of, if I had 3 points, it's provide good funding and good training for our law enforcement, target those people that are committing crimes again and again, and then help people who need help to get out of that cycle get out of that cycle so they're not committing those crimes again and again.
Thank you, Mr. Strahl. Just in summary, we're asking this question to all candidates. You're the current Member of Parliament for Chilliwack-Hope, and you're seeking re-election for another term. And the question we have for you, just in summary, is what is the single most important issue, task that you hope to achieve if you are re-elected as the MP for this region?
Okay, the question is what's the most important task if I'm re-elected as the MP for this region? I think it's really trying to make life better for the people of Chilliwack-Hope, and I've tried to do that for my first 4 years, and so I've helped get things for new bridges, we talked about better salmon habitat, better environmental regulations, and I think that's what I'll be trying to do if I'm re-elected, is to just keep making life better for the people of Chilliwack-Hope. It's tough to narrow it down to one thing, but that's kind of my overall philosophy is when I'm thinking of how I'm voting or what I'm going to focus my attention on, it's will this make life better for the people of Chilliwack-Hope? And if I'm re-elected, that'll be my focus, and I'll work hard every day to try to make that happen.
Thank you so much. We're running a parallel election that takes place this Friday.
Okay.
So we're joining thousands of other students across the country participating in the student vote. So these kids will get a chance to vote for the candidate for Chilliwack-Hope.
All right.
And then we will compare those with the results to the election on Monday night. So it's just a novel way of encouraging active citizenship in our schools. And
Absolutely.
I know you're an incredibly busy man right now. So on behalf of Strathcona, I just wanted to thank you for making time for us and helping these kids understand the importance of democracy. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And if I can just say one final thing, you're engaged in this citizenship engagement, but the reality is that less than 60% of voting age adults vote in every election. So if I could give you some homework, if I might, talk to your parents about voting. And make sure if they didn't vote this weekend that they get out on Monday between 7 and 7. And I saw here we have the right to vote, and that's a hard-won right that lots of people have fought and sacrificed for. So I would just encourage you to encourage people you know who are over the age of 8 to participate in this election.
Thank you. Once again, good luck on your campaign.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye, everyone. High fives again. Double high.